Hello and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. This is Dawn. I'm super excited to be here with you guys as always, as on every Tuesday. Well, almost always. There's always exceptions, of course, because we're all human, right? So today I thought we would tap on resistance to a client who was still feeling slighted after a year of a friend of hers not ghosting her basically for 3 months. And it was very hurtful and something that, she still is holding on to a little bit. And so we talked about and tapped around, resistance to forgiveness and why she was holding on to it. And, sometimes it's our subconscious mind protecting us, or it's maybe our ego protecting us. And so it's, forgiveness is really important, not just forgiveness for ourselves, but forgiveness for others. And that, of course, ties into the forgiveness of self for being the person potentially who was holding on to it. Or, maybe there's a past situation that you've been holding on to that you haven't been able to release or let go. And, sometimes when we're tapping, I was reminded of this last night as I was substitute teaching an EFT class where I learned it at HMI Hypnotherapy College in Tarzana. And I was reminded that, there are aspects that come up. Maybe there's forgiveness, but maybe there's some sadness around it, or maybe there's frustration around it. And sometimes the frustration or sadness can be directed at ourselves because, more than likely the other person's not holding on to it, right? We're the ones that are holding on to it and suffering. And that is, even though logically we know we don't want to suffer, we don't want to hold on to this resistance to forgiving this person. In my client's case, one of her really good friends who ghosted her for a few months and wouldn't talk to her, wouldn't let her explain, wouldn't let her, and no communication basically. And that was really hurtful to my client. And so just tapping on that resistance to forgiveness. If you still feel like you're holding on to something longer than is a healthy amount. And of course, whatever a healthy amount is can change from person to person and circumstance to circumstance. So everyone's situation is individual and unique. And of course, that relationship is individual and unique with the person that you feel that you need to forgive. So with that said, let's go ahead and start the tapping. And if you're not familiar with the tapping points, please feel free to go back and review the video, where are the tapping points, because every week I just kind of launch into it. So so just think about that forgiveness. So think about the person, perhaps it's yourself, perhaps it's another person. In this case, it was my client's good friend. And just think about that person or yourself that you're trying to forgive, and think about how high that resistance is to letting go and to forgiving. So 10 would be the highest, the most. 1 would be, nope, I'm good, no resistance at all, and I'm ready to forgive, or I have forgiven. So just wherever you're at is fine, just taking a note of where you're starting. And if you want to go ahead and put that in the chat, feel free to, whether you're watching live or on the replay. So we'll start with the karate chop point. So just repeat after me. If there's any words I'm saying that do not resonate, feel free to insert your own words. And again, your own words are the most powerful. And of course, if you choose to tap along, knowing that you're taking responsibility for your own well-being. Okay, so starting with a setup statement. And we're going to do this 3 times. Even though I have this resistance to forgiving, you can say their name, Lisa, I deeply and completely honor and accept myself. Even though I've been holding on to this hurt and sadness around Lisa not talking to me for 3 months, or whatever the situation is. And it was really hurtful. And I took it personally at that time, or my ego took it personally. But I want to forgive. And I want to let go of this resistance to forgiveness. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have all this resistance to really forgiving Lisa for ghosting me those couple months. And it really hurt, and I was upset by it. And I want to release that resistance. And I want to forgive. And I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive myself. And I choose to forgive Lisa or whoever it is. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Inside the eyebrow, there's resistance to forgiving. Side of the eye, resistance to forgiving this person who hurt me. Under the eye, it really hurt what they did. Under the nose, and I feel like it damaged our relationship. Chin point, I know logically I want to forgive them. Collarbone, but I know that there's some resistance to doing that. Under the arm, but I'm willing to try. Under the chest, I'm willing to forgive myself for this person. Wrist points, because I've been holding on to this resistance for too long. Top of the head, and it's time to let it go. Inside the eyebrow, it's time to forgive. Side of the eye, and I know it doesn't serve me anymore to hold on to this negative energy. Under the eye, what happened was in the past. Under the nose, and I choose to be more present in the present moment. Chin point, and I want to release this forgiveness. Collarbone, or at least lessen it just a little bit. Under the arm, this situation and friendship is worthy of healing. Wrist points, and I want to allow for that. Top of the head, and I'm open to the possibilities of repairing the friendship. Inside the eyebrow, I want to release this resistance to forgiveness. Side of the eye, and I'm willing to try. Under the eye, if not for that other person, for myself. Under the nose, because I've robbed myself of this peacefulness for too long. Chin point, and it's up to me to do the work. Collarbone, it's my responsibility to heal. Under the arm, no one else can do it for me. Under the chest, and that's okay, because I'm willing to do the work. Wrist points, and I choose instead to let it go. Top of the head, I choose to forgive the friendship. Inside the eyebrow, I choose to forgive myself. Side of the eye, I choose to forgive my friend. Under the eye, it's time to be more present in the present moment. Under the nose, and it's time to move on. Chin point, I choose to allow the situation to heal. Collarbone, I choose to practice good self-care. Under the arm, I choose to share my feelings of appreciation and gratitude for the friendship. Under the chest, I choose to focus on the positives. Wrist points, and all the good things that we've shared over the years. Top of the head, I choose forgiveness. and forgiveness for myself and this other person. Okay, take a deep breath. One more deep breath. If there's any leftover forgiveness that needs to happen, just breathe it out. Any resistance, breathe out the resistance. Good job. So thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions at all, of course, you're always welcome to send me a direct message or drop a comment, and make sure that you turn on notifications when I upload videos or go live. And I'm super excited that you were here today, that you took this time for yourself, for your healing, for your forgiveness, and have a beautiful rest of the day. Okay, thanks for joining. Bye.